Peace and love, y'all. What's going on, Javon? Dr. Love Jones. We're here for the 30-day content creation challenge. And right now, we on day 26. Yeah, I know y'all about to get on my case. You're gonna be like, yo, we're day 25, 24, day 18, 17. Yeah, I'm skipped on days. Part of it was I got sick. A lot of it is I just haven't honored the commitment to those videos just yet, but I will be doing my 30-day content creation challenge is now over. I'm going to finish it. I'm running through the tape. I just got to do some catch up. But in reality, I'll get to that, but we got to talk about something. And this, we're going to, we were doing day 26 specifically because on the 26th of January, we're reminded of the passing of the great Kobe Bean Bryant, um, which is by far the most emotional, hardest hitting transitioning of a celebrity that I've ever met. And I think, and I've been through some celebrity passings that people are fans of, but I was a fan of Kobe. Like, and because basketball was a sport I was my number one sport, growing up playing and all that, I had an appreciation for Kobe, right? And what it was, I think from a kid, I just appreciate the confidence and his willingness to be bold and do that. And I remember like just seeing his willingness to take shots and do things. He airballed two shots early in his career in like a fourth quarter, like clutch shots. And I remember that watching that game. He had airball, and it was because my brother knew I was a fan, and he used to like try to tease me. So he was like, "Yo, Kobe's a bum. You see, watch it. He's a bum." All of that, right? But what I appreciate about Kobe was that willingness to be confident, but he put the work in to be confident. So it was like there's a lot of people who will look at criticize someone for being brash and confident. They take it as cocky or arrogance, which is great. But when you put in the work and the time and the effort, it hits different when a person's now has that same level of confidence. So and that's what Kobe had. So for example, he when he won his first chip, this was in the fourth season. Won the chip in his fourth season with him and Shaq. Shaq at that time, the most dominant big man we have seen since Wilt Chamberlain. I never see Wilt Chamberlain, so he's the most dominant big man I've ever seen from that time since. There's not been a player more dominant than Shaq. And Shaq was the man on that team, right? But Kobe was too, right? Kobe put up a lot of big numbers and came up big time in a lot of those games as well, especially when Shaq got into foul trouble or Shaq was having trouble with staying on the court. Um, Kobe, especially in that first chip that they won against the Pacers. So but yeah, so when they won that chip, right? Shaq, Phil Jackson, who was the coach for them at the time, they decided to go celebrate. The rest of the team did about the same thing. Kobe decided to go and practice. Not only practice, he has to do 3,000 makes, not shots, makes. So he's not ending practice until that ball goes through the net 3,000 times. That's what that's the relentless work ethic that Kobe had. One thing you can everybody want to say goats and this and that. One thing that nobody in the NBA in the history of NBA I've ever seen said that they can match the work ethic that Kobe had. Kobe had that work ethic. Like it was bar none. And that's the thing. That's what the mindset the Mamba mindset became of. His ability to put in the work even after winning the chip. And it's a simple reason why. Who's He's in his fourth year. He wants to win more. And his goal was to be better than Jordan. So Jordan had six. That was his first one. So but him and Shaq end up getting two more, so they end up getting a three-peat where they won three rings back to back to back. And then after they lost in the 2004 finals, Shaq got traded and Kobe was now the man. And it was some dark times because between that, the the situation that I'm not about to speak on, but that negative situation that he had to overcome, um, that situation where he decided to become the Black Mamba, he had to deal with that, and he had to overcome a roster that was not good enough to compete on the championship level. Eventually, that changed, and he was able to do that. But it's amazing that in January 26th that he transitioned, but on January the 6th is actually the day that he dropped 81. 81 points he dropped. He dropped 81 points in a basketball game. I didn't watch that game, but I did watch the highlights that night when that showed up. Because the fact is this: I remember hearing about Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 points, and I'm like, man, no one is never getting close to that record. No one is even like 100. Nah, that's not happening. Nobody getting close to. Kobe got close. 81 points. That's only 19 points away, right? 19 points away from 100. Like, that shows you. And the thing was, Wilt Chamberlain was the most dominant man at that game, and he was so dominant on another level. No one could stop him, right? Where Kobe was dominant, but not a dominant big. He was just a dominant scorer, which is different. It's a different level of skill set, and Kobe had that. Think one of my favorite Kobe stories that I love to talk about is when between him and Jordan. Jordan and him always had this rivalry, but it's more like a mentor mentee because Kobe learned a lot from Jordan and looked up to Jordan and all that. And you could see a lot of his moves he got from Jordan, right? But they also was fierce competitors. And you could tell where when Kobe first came in the league and he was facing against the Bulls, and you can see you can see Jordan dominating those games because at that time Jordan was at his second three-peat. He was the best player in the game and the most dominant scorer at that time. But Jordan retired after the 98 season and he came back in the 2001 season. 2001 season is where Kobe won his second ring. So now Kobe is now that guy, the man. And they still had their back and forths. So it was one game that at the time Kobe didn't have a sneaker deal at the time, so he was wearing some Jordans, some J's. Um, but he missed either a crucial shot or a free throw or something, and the Wizards end up beating the Lakers. And Jordan told him, you can wear the shoes, but you'll never be able to fill them. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. You can wear the shoes, but you'll never be able to fill them. That is a cold line by Jordan. That was cold. And Kobe did not forget those words. Because when they faced him again later on that season, Kobe, for a good 2 weeks prior to that game, Kobe went stonewalled his team, went just silent, didn't speak to anybody, anything, and was very quiet, very locked in, very focused. So when the Wizards came to face the Lakers, Kobe went off. He had 41 points in the first half. In the first half, he had 41. He ended the game with 55 points. And know what's the crazy part about that game? That was the last game Jordan and Kobe would ever face against each other. That's it. Jordan was retiring that year, and Kobe decided to have the last laugh. And he laughed the hardest for that one because that game I I remember certain visuals of that game. I didn't watch that game, but I remember seeing the highlights. He was not missing. He went off. 41 and one half, ended the game with 55. And they won big. So Kobe ended up having the last laugh on that one, right? But I think the story that I think I favor the most when I hear about Kobe is his is when this NBA player was him and was facing against the Lakers, and he goes in to the gym early before the game to do shoot arounds, right? He goes there by himself, but he sees Kobe in the gym working out. So he goes and start doing his workouts, start dribbling, start shooting, doing his workouts, and he see Kobe going hard, like game speed, working out. So he started, emulating that energy and started going game speed and going hard. So after a while, he got warmed up. He felt good, and then he goes and he still see Kobe going hard, going, uh, going game speed and everything. So he not believing. So Kobe goes in that game. Kobe ended up finishing with like 42 or something, 40 something points. So that player goes up to him, it's like, man, how long was you in that gym for? And Kobe said, I left shortly after you. Kobe competed on the fact that he competed at everything. And he saw when that player came in the gym, he was making sure that he would not be the first one leaving. He was the last one going to leave. That level of dominant in mindset is what set Kobe apart. And to me, that's why he's my GOAT. Right? Everybody can have their own GOAT. Y'all could talk about Bron Jordan. I didn't see Jordan. I saw Jordan later in his career, but I was very young. And Bron is one of the greats, all time great, but Kobe's my GOAT. And it's simply because that mindset that allows him to be able to get the last laugh on against his idol, to be able to not only beat you on the court but beat you before you even step on the court. That mentality, I admire and respect. And to me, that is what today's game is missing. Not because you're not going to get another Kobe. Kobe is Kobe. But that level of dedication to the game is just something that the game missed. It was unfortunate that not only that he transitioned, but his daughter transitioned with him too, which I guess that's symbolic and fitting that because his daughter was going to be the person that's going to take a lot what she got from him and bring it to the women's side of basketball. And Kobe, one thing impacted the women's basketball more than anything. So his transition um, was was largely felt in the women's game as well. You know, so it was unfortunate, and it's not just those two. It was uh 13 others on that helicopter that crashed. And I want to say RIP to all those members that was on the helicopter. But most importantly, RIP Kobe. uh you are missed by us as fans, by your fellow players, by the world. you know Basketball cried when Kobe transitioned. And but the one thing I want us to make it very clear: though we lost his physical body, all you gotta do is go to YouTube, and you get to see, and you get to really live all those moments that we saw. You can go watch that 81 game on YouTube, right? His his legacy will never perish. His legacy is forever. So Kobe is forever. So his body is no longer with us, but what he left behind stays with us. Peace and love. I'm out.